Hey guys, today's video is on I think new product, or at least I've never seen it before. It is this BENEFIT POREFESSIONAL Pore Minimizing Makeup. So I guess this is a foundation. It says target pore problem areas with this weightless makeup. Covers imperfections without clogging pores. Smooths and reduces the look of pores. Instantly mattifies and controls excess surface oil for 8 hours. So this is like, I mean, it sounds like a miracle product, to be honest. Comes in like this kind of cute packaging that has like a little door on it and shows you a like before and after shot of somebody with maybe some larger pores here. I don't know. Anyway, I got the shade 1, and when I swatched it in the store, it did look a little bit too dark for me, but I was so curious about it that I don't really care. It says, shake well, pull out custom pore blurring sponge from base. Ta-da! It's kind of like this little free sponge thing, kind of like what's on the top of the, you know, Maybelline eraser concealer. Step 2. Press the button to release 1 to 2 drops of makeup onto sponge. Pat and blend on pore problem areas or all over face. So this packaging is completely hard, and when you take off the top it looks like a squeeze tube, but you cannot squeeze this. This is hard plastic, but there is like this little thing here that you can press, and that's how you squeeze makeup out, I guess. By the way, you get 0.5 fluid ounces, so that is less than a normal foundation product. So I mean, I guess before we start, let's zoom in on my pores. Okay, it's very, very watery, and I put 3 little drops on there. So rub and pat. And pat. Thin, not much coverage, and it's like already instantly like set, and I can tell that it's going to be somewhat long lasting. Once it's stuck there, it's like stuck there. By the way, this shade 1 is definitely an orange shade, so if I get close here you can see where the product is, because it's definitely a lot darker. But what do we think about the pore situation? I feel like you can still see them. Yes, I'm gonna keep putting this on the rest of my face. One thing I'll say is that I don't feel like you need very much product. Like, you saw me do like 3 little drops on this just now, and it just like did my whole forehead. But again, it's very, very little coverage. I'm really not liking this thing for like all over the face. I mean, it was like fine for like smaller areas, but it is really hard to blend evenly because it is so watery, and that thing is just not getting a lot of surface area. So I'm actually gonna start using a brush for the rest of my face. I don't know, the brush did better for no streaks, but the brush also ate up a lot of product too. But also I feel like the Beauty Blender would soak up a lot of product too, so I don't really know what the right answer is. I think this product does work best with this thing. This is just really small for like if you're doing your whole face, that's all. It is very, very, very light coverage. Like, I still think it looks like I pretty much don't have anything on my face. It didn't conceal any real redness, any like little spots or freckles or dark area, but it is matte. So if you are looking for a product that is matte but very, very light natural coverage, I think this looks actually really good. It's like completely dry, like it set very quickly. I feel like maybe it minimized pores a little bit, and I guess that's really all it says, pore minimizing makeup. But it's definitely not a miracle product. Here's a close-up again, and I will put a side-by-side of before and after of my nose. I mean, I do think it looks a little bit better. It's just definitely pores are still there. But I have to say, I really do like the way that it feels. So I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer under my eyes because I feel like that's probably where I need it the most. I'm not going to apply any powder, and I didn't apply any primer either. All right, so I'm actually gonna go put on a little bit more makeup. I'm gonna film a swatch video today of all of the Bite Beauty multi-sticks that I have, so that will be up shortly. And I will be back at the end of the night to let you know if it holds up to this 8-hour mattifying claim, because I do have oily skin, so we will see. Hey guys, it has been exactly 8 hours. This foundation does claim to stay matte and minimize pores for 8 hours. So I haven't looked at it in quite a while. Take a gander here. Well, I'm happy to report that I am not really shiny. You can kind of see like a little bit of shine on my nose, but honestly, it looks worse because lighting is bouncing off my face. Really matte. I mean, I mostly get oily just on my nose and like on my forehead, and like no oil is like coming off on my fingers at all. My complaint with this foundation is that it is orange. It's not dark orange, but it is a shade of orange. And that is the palest shade that they have. I mean, you can probably tell compared to my hand, even compared to like my chest, I feel like my face is, you know, darker. I feel like the better way to apply this would be like with your fingers, because a brush didn't work. The sponge, like this would just soak this basically water product out. But maybe if I used my fingers, I could get like a more even go. Like I'm gonna got a little bit there just for testing. This is good for like small areas and buffing in, but in terms of just like covering my whole face, I think that I would have been better off putting some in my hands and just getting like the rest of my cheeks and facial surface area that way. But I do like it. Other than the shade, of course, and the sponge applicator that kind of made it look streaky, this product controlled my oils. I mean, it didn't work magic on my pores, as you guys saw in the before and after. It did help a little bit though. It didn't make them worse, and that's for sure. It really looks natural, and it stayed on. Like it's one of those formulas that it's so watery and it just like straight up sticks to your skin. Like it's hard to get off, to be honest. But again, it is very light coverage, so if you're looking for something on the medium to full spectrum, honestly, I wouldn't even go there. I think this could be interesting to use as like a primer though, because it is so like adhering to your face, and if you do feel like this is working on your pores really well, but it's not giving you the coverage that you want, I feel like it could be something you put underneath your foundation because it is so thin. I don't think you have to worry about build up on your face looking really heavy or cakey. I do generally prefer a liquidy foundation, and it reminds me a lot of the Chanel Vitalume Aqua foundation, except for this one is like creamier and dewier, where this one dries matte and long wearing. So all in all, like I actually like this. I think using my fingers to blend it out and potentially even mixing it with another really liquidy foundation that is more my color. And I also wanted to mention that it didn't cling badly to any little dry flakes. I've got some like dry patches right here and like on my forehead right here, and I pretty much can't see either one. So for being like a mattifying product, it didn't pick up on those dry patches at all. So I recommend this for pretty much any skin type. I think that all skin types could work with this, but it's definitely best for people who don't like a lot of coverage. And also if you are really, really pale, like my shade or lighter, this #1 shade is not going to be good for you. And if I remember correctly, there weren't that many colors to choose from anyway, so in general people might have a hard time with that. But it lasted, it controlled oils pretty well, and I mean it looks natural. So that is the end of this little review. I hope you guys learned something, maybe decided if you want to pick it up or not. And as always, you can subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every single week, and I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.